All right, everybody. Let's get into live streams going here.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scamming with truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pig butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pig butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're
What's up, John?
hoping.
Getting started soon. Everybody hit that like button. Say hi in the chat.
Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or else they're taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second
Hey, user Geo, welcome, welcome. Getting started in a couple minutes here. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, Dave, good to see you too.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Get lost, scammer. What's up, everybody? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Getting started in a minute and a half here. Lots of good scam awareness stuff coming up. Hit that like button. Let me know you're here. Hit that like button. Say hi in the chat.
Your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed. They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
Getting started in a minute. 1 minute to go.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
whom your data's displayed.
They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream.
Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait. A second of caution could change your fate.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you all here on this wonderful Thursday. Welcome one, welcome all. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and we're here to deliver you the latest news about common scams that target individuals just like you, me, your friends, your family, right? Because scams are a big problem. These scams, they want to take everything you have. They want to take your retirement fund, your savings. They want to take every penny you got. We're not talking about small-time scammers that want to take $100 or even $1,000. They want to take everything. It's a big problem, especially for the older folks out there who are losing their entire life savings and retirement funds. But don't fool yourselves. The younger folks fall for just as many scams. So scam awareness is key to preventing scams, being able to spot scams, knowing when you're engaged with a scammer, and spotting these scammers before you give them money is key. So we believe the best defense against scams is knowledge. And that's what we try to do over here at Scam Aware 101 is spread awareness of these common scams. We spread videos and content on social media. You can check out our YouTube channel for some scam awareness videos. And this live stream that we do every week on Thursdays is one of the ways that we also spread awareness. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get some more people in here. We'll be streaming for probably about 2 hours this evening. And we're going to go over about 20 different types of scams. We're going to go over red flags to help you identify these scams. And we're also going to go over real examples of these scams. We're going to show you real text message scams. We're going to show you real email scams. We're going to play some phone call scams to help you identify these scams when you're a target. All right. So on these live streams also, we have the agenda here that we'll go through, but it's kind of a laid back environment, right? I'm going to engage with you in the chat over on YouTube mostly, which by the way, if you're watching on Facebook and Instagram, that's great. But I'm mostly interacting with the YouTube chats. So head over to YouTube if you want to ask a question or share a story, right? I want to answer questions. I want to talk to you out there. I want to hear what scams you're being targeted with, right? So just because we have the agenda here, these live streams kind of free flowing, we'll switch them around and we go with the flow here. So don't be afraid to say hello. Let me know you're watching and hit that like button, share some stories, ask your questions. We have a free mailing list you can join over on scamaware101.com. You join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you some scam awareness details, some reminders when we're going live, all good stuff. So head over to scamaware101.com, hit join mailing list. We're also on all your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. The only one we're not on is TikTok. So make sure to give us a like, a follow, subscribe on your favorite social media platforms. It really does help. We have a merch store too. If you want to help out financially, you can purchase some merch. We have the gift shop link over here on our website, and we also have the YouTube store set up. And you could check out some of our Scam Aware 101 merch, including these cool travel mugs, coffee travel mugs. We have other mugs. We have mouse pads, stickers, water bottles, all useful items that you would have on your desk in front of you to remind you not to fall for scams and make great gifts too for that family member that keeps on getting scammed, right? They're sitting at their desk. They're about ready to click on a malicious link and they look down at their coffee mug and they're reminded, be scam aware. At least that's the vision, right? We got some stickers too, so you can slap them on anything you want. So support the cause, purchase some merch. It really does help out. And finally, before we get into it, you can also support us financially if you want. Feel free to donate, scamaware101.com/donate. And we also have memberships enabled on YouTube, monthly memberships, and the super chats and super thanks, I believe is what they call them now on YouTube. So we have all that enabled too if you want to support by tossing us a couple bucks. We appreciate it. Don't feel obligated. Hey, we're happy with a few more likes, subscribes, and follows. Let's just get the word out about these scams so people can protect themselves. Our loved ones can protect themselves. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Detail Doctor. Cool. Good to see you. Got some new users here. Excellent. All right. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And we're going to dive into some common scams to be aware of. And starting off here, we're going to start off with a fake order scam. So I get the slide up here for you. Could be jumping around between presentations here, so bear with me as I do this. All right, so fake order scams. This one's extremely important to be aware of because we're being targeted from all directions by fake order scams. And what these are is these are basically when victims receive a fake order notification that an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, a scammer impersonates customer support and attempts to steal their personal and financial information. Right? So let's talk about this a little bit and why it's so dangerous. And we have some examples to share with you here too. Right? So the reason why this is so dangerous is that these scammers can impersonate any vendor. They commonly impersonate Apple. They commonly impersonate Amazon, Walmart, and other popular vendors, but they're not limited to those. They can impersonate anybody we want. They can claim any item was purchased because the whole idea is they want the victim, aka you, to think, oh no, I didn't make this purchase. Let me call this number to dispute it. Right? But you're actually calling scammers, and that's how they get you. Right? And this first example that we're going to show you here of a fake order notification scam is a text message, and this one impersonates Apple. This example, it was reported to me by many people, and I received this one myself. Right, and you can see how it impersonates Apple, and it's a text message that says, we have noticed that your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at an Apple store for $143.95. Also, some suspicious sign-in activity detected. And then it says, call this number immediately to cancel this charge. Right, so the idea is you get this text message, you think, I didn't spend $143, I better call this number. Right, you think you're calling Apple, but you're actually calling a scammer. Right, and that's how this fake order notification works. Right, the order could claim that anything was ordered. They could claim it's from any vendor. That's why this trick, so many people fall for it. And I mentioned that you're being targeted from all directions. And that was the text message example, but here's a victim's story about an email version of this scam. And the victim was a 23-year-old from Lincoln, Nebraska, and she reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to an identity fraud scam. And by the way, notice the rate is a 23-year-old woman, right? This isn't an older person, right? A lot of the victim stories I'm going to share with you, they're younger folks that fell for the scam. So the scam began on July 17th with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. The woman called the number provided in the email to dispute the purchase. Right? Now I'm going to stop right there before we continue. That's how the fake order scam works. How the fake order notification scams work. Right? She's notified that an iPhone was purchased under her account. It's a completely fake notification. There was no iPhone purchased. Right? But she's notified an iPhone was purchased, and it says to call this number to dispute it. She calls the number to dispute it. That's how the scam works. Now you're talking to a scammer. They got you on the hook. Right? So what's interesting about the details in this article, it tells us what happens after she's talking to scammers. It gives a little peek behind the curtain. So this is what happened in her case. She calls up to dispute the iPhone purchase. She's connected to scammers who are impersonating Apple, and she's told that someone is using her identity. They're opening accounts across multiple states. The scammer is then connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from her bank account. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right, so $4,100 she was tricked into sending by these scammers. Right, and this is all how a fake order notification works. They trick you into calling the scammer. And it's pretty clever how they do it. Right, instead of the scammer calling you, where most people might have their guard up for an incoming call, the fact that they trick you into calling them, you almost have your guard down initially. Right. So anyway, watch out for these fake order scams. They're a big problem because they evolve into something much larger. Right? They start from a simple, oh, there was a purchase under your account, but then they're telling you your identity has been stolen. They're telling you withdraw your money's not safe, and they're telling you to transfer your money in a certain way or purchase gift cards, which, by the way, that's always a red flag. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's continue here. I say you're being targeted from all directions. Here's 2 phone call examples of these fake order scams. And these are actively circulating phone calls. If you get these phone calls, ignore them. Do not press 1 to be connected, right? Do not call back the number. Right? These are scam phone calls. These are known as fake order scams. So let's listen to the first example here. And this scammer impersonates Amazon, and they claim a MacBook Pro was purchased on your account. All right, so let's take a listen. Let me know how the volume is over there if you need me to turn it a little higher and all that.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
All right, so you might get that phone call, and the idea is you answer the phone, that recording plays, and the idea is they're trying to trick you into pressing 1. Right? They're saying a MacBook Pro is purchased for $1,499. Right? You get a call like that, you might be pretty quick to be like, one, I did not purchase that, and start slamming the one button to talk to support, right? But that's how the scam works. You press one, you're actually connected to the scammer. Let's listen to the second example of a fake order scam phone call. And this one actually impersonates Walmart, and it claims a PlayStation was purchased.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
And look, there were red flags all over that recording, from telling you to press 1 and then telling you to call the number displayed. Those are all red flags. But there's another example of fake order scam phone call. It claims that an order was placed, and it tries to trick you into connecting to a scammer, either by calling a scammer directly thinking it's support, or by pressing 1. Don't fall for it. Very common scam, and it's a big problem. Who's with me this evening? Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm mostly monitoring the YouTube chat, so again, head on over there from Instagram and Facebook if you have any questions or want me to answer them. Share some stories. I see Juan over on Instagram. Good to see you, Juan. Pleasure as always. All right, this next scam we're going to talk about here. This next scam is known as a grandparent scam. Well, we got some chat going on here. Hey, user Go8PX. Good to see you. Good to see some new faces here this evening over at the live stream. Let me know what brings you to the live stream. If you've been scammed before, or you're being proactive and trying to protect yourself, which that's really what I'm trying to do with this. With Scammer 101 was just trying to get people to be proactive and learn about this and protect themselves. You know, because protecting yourself after the fact, it's too late. You know, you send money to these scammers, you're not getting it back. And sometimes it's too late. People lose their life savings, which is a good segue into these grandparent scams, right? These people that do these grandparent scams, terrible, right? It's called a grandparent scam because they're trying to scam your grandma, right? They're trying to scam your parents or grandparents. So it's basically when scammers impersonate a distressed relative claiming to have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, lawyers to extract even more money from the victim, right? So this is one of those fascinating scams where the scammer will actually impersonate the loved one briefly, right? They'll actually impersonate a granddaughter or a daughter that's in distress. And you might be thinking to yourself, how could somebody fall for that? Well, we have a video that we're going to share with you of a grandparent scammer in the Dominican Republic, right? And basically, this grandparent scammer, a YouTuber hacked this scammer's computer and was able to record him doing a grandparent scam. So we're going to watch this video real quick, the short video of a grandparent scammer, actually a real grandparent scammer performing a grandparent scam. It's a fascinating video. If you've ever wondered how somebody could fall for this, you know, maybe after watching this video you can understand. But basically, here we go. Let's take a watch. And let me know in the comments what you think. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. I want to hear from you.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2, the...
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscating her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
That's a fascinating video of an actual grandparent scammer in the Dominican Republic attempting a scam on a victim. That's an actual real recording of how it's done. And look, I can understand how someone could fall for this. Like the first 20 seconds, he's impersonating a distressed loved one, right? Their granddaughter, their daughter. So for the first 20 seconds, he just sounds like anybody's in distress, like a crying, hysterical woman. It could be anybody's daughter or granddaughter, right? So I can see how he could get away with that. All right, and it's very convincing. He impersonates a police officer. He's got the police scanners playing in the background, so to make it sound like it's actual police station, right? He tells the victim that we've confiscated her cell phone, so don't try calling, right? Because they know if she tries calling, their granddaughter's going to answer and be like, hey, I'm not really in jail. All right. And also what's interesting is he requests secrecy, right? That's a big red flag. We're going to talk about that more later, but he requested secrecy by saying that she's embarrassed about the arrest and asked you not to tell anybody, right? That's just a clever little trick they use to try to get the victim to stay quiet. They don't want them discussing what's going on with people because they might realize it's a scam. So anyway, that's an example of a grandparent scammer. And this guy, he's known as an opener, right? He opens the conversation, and then what he does, he hands it off to a closer who then takes the money from the victim. And why this particular scam is so dangerous too is that these scammers, they impersonate multiple agencies. First, they'll impersonate the police department and say that they need a payment needs to be made. Then they'll impersonate lawyers and say a payment needs to be made. Then they'll impersonate court personnel and say a payment needs to be made. They'll just keep making up agencies until the victim has no more money to keep on paying. All right, and they do it all using the daughter, granddaughter, grandchild, as bait. All right, so warn your parents, your grandparents about this scam. If you're the parents or grandparents watching right now, be aware of this scam, right? Even if they say don't call to confirm, call to confirm anyway, or reach out to your loved one. Don't just listen to these people on the phone and take their word for it. Right? They say in this type of scam, you and your loved one should have a passphrase or secret to confirm, who you're really dealing with. But anyway, watch out for a scam. Make sure your loved ones are aware of this one. How we all doing out there this evening? Welcome to the live stream. It's your first time here. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals like you, me, your friends, your family. Right? We're all under attack all day long by scammers that want to take everything we have. So make sure to join the free mailing list on scamware101.com. To join mailing list, follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. Make sure to hit that like, follow, and subscribe button. It really does help. And this next scam we're going to talk about here is inheritance scams. Victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative, but to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity information. Right? So these inheritance scams, I have an example of one of these I'm going to share with you right now. And the example that I'm going to share with you is actually a snail mail version. It's actually a letter, right, that you would get in the mail. This is a real letter, arrives on your front doorstep. So this one's dated November 29th, 2024. So it's about a year and a half old now at this point. But we know this one's still circulating. It's a very common scam. It's been circulating for years before. It's going to keep on circulating for years to come. But basically, this letter, right, they got letterhead on there, a logo, an official sounding law office on there. Right? And it goes on to say that they're a partner at a law firm in Canada. And their client, who shares the same last name as you, passed away 4 years ago. There's an inheritance of $10.8 million, right? And since they can't find anybody else with the same last name, you're entitled to that inheritance. They offer to handle it all for you. They say there's no risk. And of course, they say this claim requires a high level of confidentiality, right? Because there's that red flag request for confidentiality. All right, so how this scam works is what they're going to do in most cases is they make the victim think that you're going to get $10.8 million, but first you have to pay fees and taxes. All right. So what they do is they scam the victim out of fees and taxes on $10.8 million, and then the victim never receives an inheritance because it was never real. Right? And what's interesting about this letter is that the person it was addressed to, they made sure that the last name of the person it's addressed to matched the last name of whoever they claimed was deceased. Right? They put that level of attention to detail, into this, that they were willing to, every time they send this letter out, they make sure that whoever it's addressed to, the victim's last name matches. So, and it's that little attention to detail that makes people think like, oh, maybe this is real. But it's not. It's a scam. And look, all it took when this letter came in, all it took was Googling a couple sentences or Googling the law firm's name, and tons of results came back with people reporting the exact same letter. So now, again, just because I'm showing you a snail mail version of this scam, an inheritance scam, this type of scam, you might get an email that's claiming you're entitled to an inheritance too, right? So, a lot of these scams, they cross different communication methods. So just because I'm showing you the snail mail version, that doesn't mean the email version is safe or vice versa, right? So anyway, watch out for these inheritance scams. And really, any type of free money you have to be suspicious about, right? So lottery scams are actually a huge loss, right? Like as far as the stats and reports go, so much has been lost to lottery scams, fake prize scams, fake publishers clearinghouse scams, right? People think that they won this money, right? And it works the same way as these inheritance scams. You think you're getting this money from inheritance, but they both have the same scam goal, right? Which is to get you to pay fees and taxes on money that you're never going to receive, right? So be suspicious. Inheritance scam. Again, this is a real example of a letter that you might receive. It's actively circulating. We see reports of it all the time. So watch out for these inheritance scams. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered some of these scams too. I'm doing a mix of like some of the most common scams and some scams that you might not think were out there. Like you might not be expecting to get a letter in the mail that's a scam, but hey, scammers are still doing that. And speaking of scams that arrive in the mail, this next scam we're going to talk about is a secret survey check scam. Right? At least that's the official name of it, secret survey check scam. But really what it is it's a mystery shopper check scam. And what I mean by that is you'll get a letter in the mail like this. There's a real example. It has Walgreens and CVS logos at the top because it's impersonating Walgreens and CVS. And it says, congratulations on your accomplishment. This package contains what you need to complete your first secret survey assignment. So have fun, make money, and help us improve global customer services. So basically, you get this letter out of nowhere in the mail that's saying, congratulations, you've been selected. You're a secret shopper, right? But what's interesting about this scam is also included in that envelope is a check. All right, so you get this letter in the mail, and it's actually got a check in there for you. Right, $2,480, and instructs you. What you have to do now is it says deposit the check at your bank, and then within 12 to 24 hours, go purchase 4 gift cards from CVS or Walgreens. Purchase 4 gift cards, Apple gift cards, Razer gift cards, Nike gift cards, Steam Wallet gift cards, $500 each. So why don't you go spend $2,000 on gift cards, and then keep whatever's left over, the $480, as your commission. Right? So someone gets this in the mail and they think, wow, easy money. All I got to do is deposit this check, buy 4 gift cards, send pictures of the gift cards to the contact, and then boom, you keep the money. And it all happens within 24 hours. Not bad for a day's worth of work, right? $480. Well, it's a scam, right? So what happens is you deposit that check, right? And sure, for 12 to 24 hours, the funds are going to show in your bank. You go purchase the gift cards, $2,000 of gift cards, right? You send them to the scammer. And when I say send them, I mean you take pictures and send them to the scammer. Because when it comes to gift cards, when you send those pictures, that's it. The scammer clears the funds. Even if you're holding the gift cards, they're worthless now. You provided pictures of the numbers to scammers, they're going to get cleared out, right? So you purchase those gift cards, $2,000, send to the scammer. Right, the next day, you're sitting home, you're thinking, hey, that was easy. I made a quick $480, right? Well, what happens is 24 hours later, 48 hours later, you get notified by the bank, the check was no good, right? That $2,400 gets reversed is taken out of your account. All right. And you're beat $2,000 now, right? Because you bought $2,000 worth of gift cards, but that money's gone, right? You sent those gift cards to the scammer, so you can't do anything with the gift cards now. And you just got scammed out of $2,000. That's how this scam works. And to add insult to injury, the bank charges you with a fee for depositing a bad check, right? And if that happens to overdraft you, then you get another fee, right? So you get scammed by the scammer, you get scammed by the bank, and it's not a very pleasant scam, right? So this is known as a secret survey check scam, or mystery shopper scam. This example, the most common impersonations are CVS and Walgreens. That's what this example is, right? But we actually have a second example too that also impersonates CVS and Walgreens here. All right, this one's pretty much the same scam, except this one wants you to purchase 3 gift cards instead of 4, so the check amount that it came with is a little different. This scammer only wants Apple gift cards though. All right, so don't fall for the secret survey mystery shopper check scam. All right, be suspicious if you get a check in the mail. Some takeaways regarding that scam. And by the way, we did a video about that scam too. We're going into more detail. So check out that video, share it with a friend. We've also seen examples, one quick note about that. We've also seen examples of not just CVS and Walgreens, but Whole Foods is the other one that I've seen reports about that type of scam. You get a letter claiming to be from Whole Foods saying you're a secret shopper, go purchase gift cards. All right. Any mention gift cards should be considered a scam. So scammers still use the postal service to target individuals with snail mail scams. So just because you receive a letter in the mail, that doesn't mean it can be trusted. All right, don't trust unsolicited letters that include a check in an envelope. Even if a check appears legitimate, wait for it to clear before using the funds. Right? And actually, you don't even want to deposit it, right? Like, what you should do is you want to reach out to whatever bank issued the check and see if the funds are there, right? Because even if you risk depositing it, you're still going to get a fee if it bounces. But look, at the end of the day, you get a check in the mail. It's suspicious. Any request to purchase gift cards should be considered a red flag. All right, scammers love receiving gift cards. Be suspicious of any requests for gift cards. There's all clever ways that scammers try to get you to purchase gift cards. And then look, receiving a job offer without applying for it is a red flag. If you didn't apply to be a secret shopper, it's kind of suspicious that you're getting a check in the mail and an envelope saying you've been selected as a secret shopper, right? So keep that in mind. Those are all secret shopper scams. Important to be aware of. Cool. We're right on track here. We're going to talk about some QR code scams next. How are y'all doing this evening? Let me know you're watching. Make sure to give us a like, a follow. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm mostly monitoring the YouTube chats, though, so hop on over to the YouTube channel if you want to chat, ask questions, engage a little bit. We got some new faces here. It's good to see user go 8px9ds2w. I'm not going to read that whole thing. I'm just going to refer to you as user go. Is that okay? User go. We got the detailed doctor in the house. Got Johnny in the house. Got Dave in the house. Cool. Anybody else? Say hi. Give us some reactions. Hit the heart over on YouTube. Give us some reactions. Want to hear from you. All right, so let's talk about QR code scams. Victims. So the first QR code scam that we're going to talk about is going to be a postcard free gift offer. All right, so victims receive a physical postcard in the mail offering a free gift. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by scanning a QR code, malware is installed on their device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right, so here's an example. You get a postcard in the mail. It's offering you free wireless Bluetooth earbuds. All right, it's got a QR code to scan. Doesn't tell you where the QR code goes. All right, suspicious. Free offers. Got to be suspicious. Excellent. User Go says the banks could definitely check the cashier checks when anyone is in doubt for free over the phone. Perfect. There you go. It's a great tip because that's why I always tell people, check it, but I'm not sure if, who exactly they should reach out to. But that's a good tip. They could, the banks, pretty much any bank, like I always say, like the issuing bank, but maybe even a regular bank could tell. But definitely find out from someone. If you get a check in the mail, you don't want to just deposit it. 99% of the times, it's going to be a scam, I would say. just like these free offers, these free postcards that you get in the mail offering something like wireless Bluetooth earbuds. In this case, if you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to a phishing website that captures your personal information: name, address, Amazon account details, even your credit card number. All right, so be suspicious of random QR codes that end up in your mailbox and really in public. We're going to talk about a few more QR code scams, but really the takeaway is in public, you have to be careful with QR codes now. And not even just in public. Scammers are using QR codes. They're emailing them. This way to get past the email filters. They're text messaging QR codes, right? So it's a new tool that scammers are using to reach their victims, these QR codes. And we can thank COVID for that, because thanks to COVID, everybody kind of got used to and learned how to do hands-free and scan QR codes, right? So a lot of these traditional scams that would arrive in the mail, now they're getting a reboot. Now they come with a QR code to make them that much easier to fall for. So don't fall for it. You get a letter in the mail, it's a QR code. You see it in public hanging on a flyer. Be careful. This next QR code scam we're going to talk about, this one's interesting and clever at the same time here. There's a warning for the BBB. Scam alert. Double check that QR code before paying for parking. All right, so what these scammers are doing, they're printing out their malicious QR codes on stickers, and they're slapping their stickers on the parking meters, covering the legit QR code, right? So you know how parking meters nowadays, a lot of them have the QR code. You scan the QR code and it opens up the parking app. All right, well, these scammers, they slap their sticker of malicious code on top of it. It brings up a fake website or fake app, and the victim is paying a scammer. And not just paying a scammer, the victim is actually revealing their payment details, right? Giving their credit card or bank details to a scammer. All right, and they think they're paying for parking. And it's all just from a malicious QR code being slapped on a parking meter. And also, this is one of those other ones that add insult to injury, right? The victim thinks that they paid for parking, they come back, their car's towed because they didn't. So not only did they get scammed, now their car got towed. Just to add a little insult to injury here. So be aware of that one. That's been going on for a while. This warning comes from July 2024. So it's been going on for a couple of years now. I've seen website pop-ups, fake pop-ups that have QR codes on them. These QR codes are all over the place now, these malicious ones. So another example of QR code scam. These fake parking violations, paper tickets, have been left on people's cars. And it's covered in the photo. The person covered the QR code with his fingers, but under his fingers are the QR code to supposedly pay this fee, this parking violation. But it's a scam. It's a fake violation. It's not real. Right, and what happens, you scan that QR code, you think you're paying a parking violation, you're actually revealing your payment details to a scammer. Right, and we've seen reports of this scam happening in big cities. This example says Houston, right, the city of Houston, but I think we've seen reports of this in Denver and New York and all over the place. All right, so if you find these parking violations on your car or your vehicle, make sure they're real. They should really have a government website that it takes you to, or an official website. They shouldn't just have a QR code like this. And so those are some clever ways that scammers are using QR codes to trick their victims. Don't fall for it. How we all doing this evening? Cool. I see user Go is still with us. Excellent. Hope you're finding some of this, may learn about some new scams that you didn't know about before, or at least getting a reminder about some. Right? This is important to be aware of this stuff, because I'm telling you, once these scammers, once they get the money from you, it's very hard to retrieve that money. That's why they ask for these strange payment methods like gift cards, right? Because they know once they have the gift cards, you give them the number, you're not getting that money back. Those funds are gone. Same thing with crypto. Most of the time, very hard to retrieve. All right. let's see. I was going to spend some time on a scam tracker map, but I think we're going to do red flags next, and then we're going to circle back to more scam examples here. Let's do some red flags. So we have 2 red flag videos on our website, or on our YouTube channel, actually. So red flags we're going to go over. We have separate videos from. We actually got 2. We go over 5 red flags in each. So check out those 2 red flag videos for more details about these. And if you know anybody that would find those useful and needs to be aware of these red flags, which really should be everybody, share that video with them. Excuse me, I got to stretch my throat. One second. There we go. Hopefully that cleared it out. All right. Let's take a look at these red flags. They're dealing with a scammer. Red flag number 1. They direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Right? Scammers love using third-party chat apps to communicate with their victims because it's easier to communicate with victims in other countries, and it offers more anonymity for the scammer to hide behind. Right? And we see this in many different types of scams, like romance scams, for example. The fake dating profiles, they lure in new victims, and the dating websites or the dating apps match the victim and the scammer. They start talking. Then the scammer directs the victim to continue talking on WhatsApp, right? Wrong number scams. We're going to talk about this one a little later too, but it starts with a text message just probing for new victims. The ones that are kind enough to reply to the scammer get directed to WhatsApp to continue talking. All right. So the red flag is that you're being directed to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp. And then you have investment scams, where the scammer directs a victim to a Telegram or a WhatsApp group to pump up an investment or appear more legit. Right. And that's just a few examples. But the red flag is that a stranger tells you to continue the conversation on Telegram or WhatsApp. All right. We know scammers love using those third-party chat apps. So red flag number 2, you're dealing with a scammer. This is probably the most important one to be aware of, in my opinion. And in this case, it's your last chance, really, to stop the scam. And that's they request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Right? So it's easier to move and transfer funds quickly when scammers receive payment this way, right? Through gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. They'll instruct you to use a Bitcoin ATM. All those forms of payment are very hard to reverse. Right? It's very hard for victims to recover the money after it's sent that way. All right, so that's the red flag. They're requesting gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. They tell you to deposit money at Bitcoin ATM. And we see this a lot with IRS and Social Security impersonation scams. So when scammers impersonate government agencies and they ask for payment in gift cards or cryptocurrency. All right, and that's 100% a scam because right now the government does not accept those forms of payments. All right, so if anybody claims to be from the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, right, any kind of government agency, and they're saying you need to pay with gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam. Don't trust it. All right, we see this a lot with romance scams. The scammers, they convince their emotionally attached victim to send them gift cards and send them crypto. And a lot of times the victim doesn't realize that they can't retrieve the crypto. They think that it works the same way as a bank. They think they're depositing it and they can withdraw it, but they can't. Once they send it, it's gone. Bank impersonation scams. Victims are tricked into withdrawing cash. They think they're talking to a bank, and the bank tells them their money's not safe. Right? And they need to withdraw it and purchase gift cards or purchase cryptocurrency or deposit it at a Bitcoin ATM. They're all red flags, and a bank will never tell you to do those things. Right? So that's red flag number 2, that you're dealing with a scammer. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, using a Bitcoin ATM. And look, again, this one's so important because a lot of times it's your last chance to spot the scam. Any further than this is sending them the money, and then it's too late. So red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. All right. So there's no reason an individual should be telling you that they're sending a code to your phone and to give it back to them. Right. A lot of times we see this scam on marketplace type websites, Facebook, Nextdoor. Right. And what happens is the scammer impersonates a buyer or seller, and they'll say something like they want to confirm your phone number is real and you are who you say you are, and they'll say they're going to send a code to your phone, and they want you to reply back with the code. Right? But what's actually happening is the scammer is trying to open an account attached to your phone, or he's trying to log into an account attached to your phone, or he's trying to reset a password attached to your phone. The point is, the scammer's trying to do something malicious that it's attached to your phone number, right? And we see this happen a lot, right? So they'll be trying to log into your bank account, for example. You'll be on the phone with a scammer. They're impersonating your bank, right? And they'll say, we're going to send you a code to verify your identity. Just tell you what this code is. Well, what they're actually doing, they're trying to log into your bank account. You give them the code, you're letting them in. All right. Password resets. The scammer could be trying to reset one of your passwords. You're getting a code set to your phone, a security measure. You give that code back to the scammer. You just reset your password, give them access to your accounts, right? And Google Voice scams, right? So this is probably the most common reason why these scammers will send you a code to your phone. They're trying to create a Google Voice account, right? And this Google Voice account, what they do is they link your phone number to it, right? Because you replied with the code, you enabled them to do it, and then they'll use that fraudulent Google Voice account that's linked to your phone. They'll use that to continue with their scams, right? And it's linked to your phone, right? It points back to you. So it's always a red flag when an individual, a stranger, is telling you they want to send a code to your phone and asking you to send it back. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Right? And we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about the fake order scams. Right? So why would a scammer want to get onto a victim's PC? Because it's like a gold mine to them, right? They have access to the victim's logins and passwords. If you save your logins in your browser, for example, if you save them in Chrome, a lot of times scammers could extract those logins. When they're on your computer, they could extract those logins. You know, even though they're saved and you think they're safe. They could steal or encrypt your personal files, right? Your documents, your pictures. They could hold them for ransom, blackmail you. They could attempt to access your bank accounts from your device. Financial information. You never want to let these. They could do illegal stuff from your device. It comes back to you, right? There's just a million reasons why you never want to give a stranger or a scammer, in this case, access to your device. Right? So it's always a red flag when someone wants to connect to your PC. And we see this a lot in fake virus alert and tech support scams. We're going to talk about this one a little bit. But basically, the scammer impersonates tech support. You get a fake virus alert, you think you're calling tech support, you're actually connected to a scammer. And what they're going to do is they're going to ask to connect to your PC. And that's the big red flag. Right? The fake order scams that we talked about, a lot of times when the victims call up the fake number, they call up customer support thinking that they're calling to dispute an order that was placed. They're actually calling a scammer. And the scammers will say, let's connect your device and see what the notification says. Right? But they're actually just trying to get onto the victim's device. These scams where they impersonate the bank and they say they're investigating fraudulent activity. Right? They'll say, hey, let's connect your device and look at your other bank accounts, see if there's anything suspicious. Right? They make it sound like they're trying to do you a favor, but what they're actually doing, it's a scammer, and they're trying to see what you have in each of your bank accounts, see how much money you have to take. Right? So you never want to let a stranger onto your device. Even if it's to help with a virus or an order, right? So what I always tell people, when it comes to letting someone access your devices, you should already have someone in mind. You should already have your computer person in mind. Maybe it's the computer shop down the street, or that family member that's good with computers, or the customers, or the IT support at work, right? You should already have someone in mind who you would reach out to in a situation where your computer needs to be accessed, right? Oh, I got a virus alert. Let me call my computer person, not this phone number that I have no idea who it actually calls, all right? In the case of the fake order scams, right? Don't call the number. Check your account directly, right? If someone's saying, "Oh, let me connect to your computer and look at what orders were placed," no, don't do that. It's a scam, right? You don't want to let a scammer onto your device. So that's red flag number 4. They ask to connect your PC to assist with an issue or troubleshoot problem. How we doing out there? Got another red flag here. Red flag number 5. By the way, if you're just joining, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Give us some reactions. Hit that like, follow, subscribe. It really does help. Yeah. Yep. User Go says that the number on the back of your debit card can only be called to, not called from. Exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up because we haven't mentioned it much yet on this live stream. And usually I say it 100 times. You cannot trust caller ID, right? It doesn't matter if caller ID says it's your bank calling. It doesn't matter if caller ID says it's the sheriff's office calling. It doesn't matter if caller ID says Medicare calling. It could be a scammer, right? Scammers can manipulate caller ID. It's known as caller ID spoofing. They could show whatever they want. They could show whatever phone number they want on caller ID. They could show whatever name they want on caller ID, right? So you always have to hang up and then call back through official channels to verify. You know, in the case of a bank impersonation scam, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, in the case of a bank impersonation scam, you would call the number on the back of your debit card. Just call back the number on your debit card, right? But just because your caller ID says somebody's calling you from that number, that doesn't mean you could trust it because scammers can manipulate that number. Now, very good tip, User Go. Definitely. And then red flag number 5. We mentioned this one a bunch. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Right? It's common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. They know the more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? So they always have some clever way to ask you for secrecy, right? And we went over some of those clever little ways that they do. So don't fall for it. You know, it's always a red flag if they're asking you to keep something confidential. And some examples where that's part of the playbook. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Right? And there you go, grandparent scam. I showed you this example. It's when they say a relative's been in trouble, they need assistance, they're locked up, right? But they'll say they're embarrassed about it and not tell anybody. Right? I showed you an example about that earlier. Investment scams, they'll say it's an inside tip and not to tell anyone, or a price is just for you and not to tell anybody else about it. But it's all part of the scam. They're just trying to keep you quiet. Right? And then there's inheritance scams, like the one I showed you earlier. Right? They mail letters impersonating law offices regarding an inheritance. The letter requests confidentiality. Right? So we actually saw one example of that earlier. There's a fake fraudulent activity, right, where the scammer reaches out, they're impersonating a bank, investigating fraud. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll tell you that since it's an active investigation, you can't tell anybody about what's going on. You could ruin the whole investigation, and then they'll hold you responsible for it. It's just a clever way to get you to stay quiet. All right, so don't fall for it. It's red flag number 5. They request you keep the matter confidential or secret. Makes sense? Well, I see John said that being a scammer, they say call down, Jared. I was just gonna John said today's email notification went to spam folder. No. Oh, well, not much I could do about that, but I see you unblocked it, so that's cool. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. When that happens, if you just mark it as not junk, I actually think that does something too as far as helping out, globally too. I don't know, but we're going to continue with some more red flags. We actually have 5 more red flags to talk about. But again, if you're just joining, hit that like button, subscribe, follow. It really does help. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. You can join our free mailing list to get a reminder and other useful scam awareness tips. Check out scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Blue Sky X, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. We're streaming live right now on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I see a few people popping in on Instagram, so that's cool. Mostly engaging with the people over on YouTube, though. So if you want to chat or ask some questions, share your experiences, head on over to the YouTube channel and talk in there. I still appreciate the views and the likes on Instagram and Facebook. It's always appreciated. We have the super thanks, super chat enabled over on YouTube, too. If anybody wants to toss a few bucks, help support what we're doing over here, we appreciate it. And we have a merch shop over on YouTube and a link over here to our gift shop over on the our website as well. So you can check out some of the merch we have available to support the mission over here. We have some cool travel mugs, coffee mugs, mouse pads, water bottles, things like that. Make great gifts for the loved ones that keep getting scammed. All right, let's keep on doing some more red flags here. Usually I would take a coffee break right now, but we're going to keep going. All right, 1 sec. Just updating the agenda here. Okay. Cool. Lots of good stuff still coming up tonight. So plenty of time to still like and share this and get some more people in here. We're going for at least another hour, maybe even two. I was considering shortening the live stream to like 2 hours. I tried to do 3 hours. I'm starting to feel like maybe that's too much. I should only do like a 2-hour live stream. I don't know. So we'll see how I'm feeling today as we get. We're about ready to cross to the first hour, though. All right, let's talk about some more common red flags here. This next batch of 5 common red flags. This is for our second red flag video. Again, check it out on our YouTube channel. You could share it with a loved one, help get the word out. So, our second batch here, red flag number 1. They create a sense of urgency using fear and threats. They insist on immediate action. Scammers try to create urgency and fear because those emotions push people to react quickly without taking time to think. Right? The more panic and pressure scammers can create, the faster a victim will hand over money and information. Right? So scammers want you to be afraid. They'll use threats. They'll make you think someone's in trouble, right? Like the grandparent scam. The reason so many victims fall for this one is they think a loved one is in trouble, and it clouds their brain. They don't stop to think, right? All they can think about is, I got to help my loved one. And they're so consumed by the urgency and the fear that they don't realize, oh, wait, let me stop and think, and this is a threat, right? Or this is a scam. Arrest warrant scams, we're going to talk about these in a little bit, but right, victims think that they're going to get arrested. That could be a scary situation, so they might be quick to make payments and react. Bank impersonation scams, right? Someone's impersonating the bank, telling them someone's going to steal their money. Victims are quick to withdraw the funds and do whatever the supposed bank is telling them to do when it's actually a scammer. All right. And unfortunately, we have a victim story we're going to share with you later who she lost everything, and it's all because she thought she was talking to the bank. She said it sounded ridiculous what they were telling me to do, but I thought I was talking to the bank. So anyway, so that's red flag number 1. They create urgency using fear and threats, right? They're being rude to you and threatening. It's a big red flag. Don't trust it. Very rarely does a situation need immediate action, right? Even when it comes to someone being arrested or in trouble, right? When I say immediate action, it doesn't require you doing something on it. It's still okay to hang up the phone, deal with it in person, confirm a few things, right? Verify a few things. That's all normal to do. And no legit operation is going to tell you not to do that, right? Especially if it's someone like police station. Anyway, let's continue with these red flags here. Red flag number 2. They're dealing with a scammer. The voicemail instructs you to call number displayed on a caller ID instead of stating a phone number. I pointed this out a few times on some of the examples that I played for you earlier. Scammers change phone numbers often, and they'll use many different phone numbers across their scams, right? So a team of scammers could use the same recording regardless of phone number, right? If they don't put the phone number on the recording, a whole bunch of scammers can keep on using it, right? Scammers don't have to re-record it when the number changes. So it's very common for scammers on their voicemails and recordings to say, callback number displayed, instead of leaving an actual phone number, right? But that's a big red flag because any real organization, they're going to tell you, call us back at this number and then state a number. They're not going to tell you to call back the number that's shown on caller ID, right? So it's a big red flag if they're not leaving a number and instead they're saying callback number displayed, right? Or they're telling you to press 1 instead of leaving a real number, right? And we see this in fake order notifications, right? With the examples we played you earlier, where at the end they say call number displayed to cancel or dispute the order, right? But it's a scam. You call the number, you get connected to scammer, right? What you need to do is you need to verify through official channels. If you're concerned that it's real, verify through official channels and call back through official channels. Don't call back random numbers that you're being told to, right? That pop up on your caller ID. All right, user go says you got to hang up and call back the person directly. Hang up, verify the official number to call back and only do business through the official phone numbers, right? If somebody's calling you up saying they're from your bank, don't call them back at the number they say. Only call the number on the back of your bank card, right? Only call the number that you know is a real number. Or log in directly to your account. Check your account directly too, right? Verify what's going on. Sometimes you don't even need to call back and verify. Like those fake order notifications that claim to be Amazon. Log into your Amazon account. Do you see any orders, right? When they're impersonating your bank, log into your bank account, right? You don't have to call anyone back. You can verify yourself too. Utility and internet cable provider impersonation scams, right? Voicemail will claim you got your this is a big one, right? This is a pretty common one right now to be aware of. A voicemail claims your promotional discount is expiring or a payment is due, then instructs you to call a number displayed. And we're going to talk more about that scam in a little bit. Right. And then IRS and tax forgiveness scams, right? The voicemail will claim you owe back taxes and they'll say, call us back at this number, right? Or they'll impersonate the IRS and say, call us back at this number, but you're not calling the IRS, you're calling a scammer. So anyway, that's a big red flag. When they say call number displayed, instead of actually stating a phone number, it's a scam. All right, a real organization is going to leave a real number. Red flag number 3. An unsolicited email or text message instructs you to open a file attachments. So this is actually cybersecurity 101, right? You never want to open an email attachment or a text message attachment that you weren't expecting or is from someone you don't know, right? Scammers use file attachments to bypass email and text message filters. All right, a malicious email and text message attachment, it can install malware, a virus, or direct you to dangerous websites. Right? If you don't know who sent the attachment or you weren't expecting it, don't open it. Let's talk about this one a little bit more here. All right, so we see this in fake invoice scams. An email or text message has a fake invoice attached that links to a malicious website designed to steal your payment details. Right? Or we'll see this in undeliverable package scams. An email or text message impersonates a delivery service, FedEx, UPS, USPS, claims a package is undeliverable, needs you to update delivery information. Right? Then it instructs the victim to click the file attachment to update their address. But that's the red flag. The file attachment, it's a scam. Unpaid road toll scams. An email or text message will have an attached document, claims an unpaid road toll is due. Then it links to a fake website to steal payment details. Right? All clever ways to use attachments to trick you. Right? So look, again, if you get an email attachment, text message attachment from someone that you weren't expecting and don't know, do not open it. Right? Especially if something like an HTML attachment, it'd be extremely dangerous. So that's red flag number 3. An unsolicited email or text message instructs you to open a file attachment. Don't fall for it. Red flag number 4. The text message includes an instruction at the end to reply with yes and reopen the message. Replying yes notifies the scammer that your phone number is active. The scammer will then target you with more scams. Also, replying yes will enable the link on some devices, making it more of a threat. Right? So it's very common for scammers at the end of their text message scams to put that instruction to reply yes and reopen the message. All right, but don't do it. All right, we see this a lot for like outstanding traffic ticket scams. Right? A text message says you have a traffic ticket due. It links to a fake website for payment, and it's trying to get you to reply yes, so it can activate the link. Undeliverable package scams, same idea. The text message impersonates a delivery service, and at the bottom will say reply yes and reopen. Right? IRS, Department of Revenue impersonation scams. The text messages claim you're entitled to a refund, but must confirm your details to receive it. Beware of that one right now with tax season. All right, but the red flag is that it instructs you to reply and then reopen the message. Right? But always be careful when you do that. Make sure it's legit. It's funny because we send out text messages reminding people about our webinars. Right? And it's funny because there's a link, but you can't click the link unless you replied to the text message. So I'm tempted to include that instruction at the end of my own notifications. But it's still something you have to be aware of because scammers do it all the time, and they want you to reply. So don't do it. So that's red flag number 4. The text message includes an instruction at the end to reply yes and reopen the message. And the last red flag we're going to talk about here, red flag number 5, actually number 10. The caller asked to confirm personal information like date of birth, social security number, or Medicare number. Right. Scammers impersonate medical, financial, and government services to steal personal information. They'll claim they have an important message for you, but require personal information to verify your identity first. It's a scam. Right. Sometimes they'll say a new card is being issued, but ask you to confirm your current number first. It's all a scam, just to get your current details. All right. And some examples of where it's part of the playbook. There's Medicare and healthcare scams. They impersonate healthcare services and ask you to confirm personal information like Medicare number, date of birth, etc. The scammers use that information to file fraudulent medical claims for medical services and equipment. Sometimes the victim even gets billed for them through their health provider. And then government impersonation scams. The scammers impersonate Social Security or the IRS. They'll claim you're entitled to a refund, but ask to confirm personal information or banking details to receive it. All right. So whenever someone calls and they start asking you your personal information, date of birth, social security number, Medicare number, it's a red flag. Don't trust it. Got to hang up. Again, call back directly. That's the number one rule now when it comes to scam awareness, is being aware that you can't trust a phone call without verifying it anymore. You have to hang up and verify it through official channels. You can't trust email. You can't trust text. You always have to verify first, because these scammers, they can make themselves look like they're anybody, right? So that's it. That's 5 more red flags. So 10 red flags. We have, again, we had 2 videos about those, 5 red flags each. So check out those videos. Give it a like. Share it with a friend and family member. You might find it useful. How we all doing out there? All right. User Ghost got a bunch of good tips tonight. Call back the relative that supposedly called you if in doubt. Not anyone else, but only when your relative calls. Oh, yeah. Yep. We have a few more examples, too, of scams that involve relatives, right? You get a gift card. They get received. That's actually the next scam we're going to talk about, is the gift card received email, right? That can impersonate a loved one. Social media scams, right? Your friends, like fake profiles that impersonate your friend. Listen, there's another scam. Let's see. Are we talking about it here? Yes. At 7:30-ish, we're going to talk about some newer scams. But there's scams that actually target faith-based organizations, meaning churches and synagogues. And the scammer impersonates priests and impersonates rabbis and pastors to trick the members of the church. So yeah, friends, family members, these scammers are impersonating everybody. They hack into your friends and relatives' Facebook profiles, for example, or they create fake ones using their pictures, and they send you messages saying, "Hey, I'm stranded. Could you send me $100?" You know, they have all these clever ways. So you always have to hang up and verify, right? Someone's impersonating a relative, you got to hang up and call that relative directly. Someone's impersonating an organization, you got to hang up and call through official channels, call that organization directly. These scammers know things about you too. That's another point to remember. They know things about you, and no matter what they say on the phone, you can't let them convince you. You have to hang up and verify. Always. All right, cool. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. I've been streaming for the past hour, 15 minutes here. So we're going to be back in 5 minutes, and then we're going to get into a lot more common scams. We're going to talk about gift card scams, investment scams, arrest warrant scams, where they claim you missed jury duty, right? Bank impersonation scams. We're going to show you some examples of those. Wrong number scams, fake promotions. We got so much coming up. So stick around. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Refill our Scamware 101 coffee mug that you get in our merch store. Make sure to hit that like, follow, subscribe, invite some more people. Lots of good stuff still coming up.
Yo, it's Jared in the booth, spitting scammer and truth. They fishing in your inbox, man, they stealing your youth. Phishing emails, got that urgent in the line. Click that link and your bank account's not fine. Tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammer World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Fake tech support, they call you at noon. Your PC's infected, yeah, they're singing that tune. Pick butchering scams, betting wallets to slice. Invest in the fake love, but you're paying the price. Scammer World 101, keep your eyes wide open. If the deal seems sweet, man, they're probably hoping. Snatch your cash, leave you broke in despair. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or I'll start taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed.
They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait.
A second of caution could change your fate.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Snatch your cash, leave you broke in despair. Stay woke, my people, man, these crooks don't care. Wrong number text, they pretend they know you. Acting all friendly till they ask for a few. Grandparent scam, your grandson's in jail. Send a bail quick or his freedom might fail. Arrest warrant scam, police are on the line. Pay now or I'll start taking your time. Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed.
They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait.
A second of caution could change your fate.
You must go to the store and buy gift cards.
Stop! It's a scam!
My uncle works at a hedge fund and gives me insider trading tips. Download this trading app.
Stop! It's a scam!
My bank suddenly needs my password, my PIN, and my first pet's social security number.
Stop! It's a scam!
This is urgent. You can't hang up.
Get lost, scammer.
Fake order text, your package is delayed. You click that link, boom, your data's displayed.
They'll call, they'll text, they'll lie, they'll scheme. Play on your fears, they'll sell you a dream. Be alert, my friend, don't take the bait.
A second of caution could change your fate.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Scamware 101 live stream. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We've been streaming live since 5:45 p.m. Eastern. We do that every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Spread awareness of common scams that target individuals just like you, me, your friends, your family. Really, everybody should be aware of these scams so they can protect themselves and protect their loved ones. So, we're going to keep on getting into it here. Hey, Liz, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. We're about ready to jump into some more common scams. Oh, but by the way, if it's your first time joining us, welcome to the live stream. You join our free mailing list on scamware101.com. Visit the website, hit join mailing list. You can follow us on your favorite social media, YouTube, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and X. We have some merch available. Might help support the cause. Got a Scamware 101 travel mug here. We have some other mugs and mouse pads available. Stickers, water bottles, things like that, available in our YouTube store. So check that out. And we also have super thanks, super chats, and memberships enabled on YouTube as well. If you want to help out that way, we appreciate it. Now, with that said, let's continue into some common scams to be aware of. Now, we started mentioning this one a little bit before the break, but gift card received email scams. Victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right, so here's an example. Maybe you get an email that looks like this. It looks like it's from Venmo. It says your $50 gift card is here. It says your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. All right, and this is a scam, right? So you get an email like this that's claiming your gift card is here that was sent to you by an employer or sent to you by a family member. What you want to do, you want to reach out first and confirm they actually sent it to you. Because if you weren't expecting it, it's a little strange, right? So in this case, you would reach out to your employer and say, hey, did you actually send me this gift card? Is this really from you? Or you'd reach out to that family member. Is this really from you? Just to confirm. And you're going to want to say thanks anyway if it is, right? So two birds with one stone. You reach out, they say yes, thanks. They say no. Well, you just saved yourself from getting infected with the virus or scammed. So watch out for this scam. You know, any kind of free offer or gift card that arrives in your email box. This next scam example here. This is actually submitted by one of our members. So this is an example of an inheritance scam email. And there's so many red flags in this email. I like to use that as an example for that reason. But just because I'm showing you an email version of this scam, still be aware of if you receive a letter like this in the mail or if somebody's messaging you online, right? Be suspicious of these types of investment scams. But first of all, so this email starts out, it comes from an Outlook.com email, which is suspicious right off the bat because it's a free email service and they're claiming to be a holdings company, right? So it's a little suspicious that they're emailing from an Outlook.com free email service. So that's red flag number one, right? Red flag number two, the email starts off with "Dear friend," right? That's a red flag because that means this email is probably being sent to hundreds and thousands of other, hundreds of thousands even, of other people, right? It starts off with "Dear friend." It can be sent to millions of people that haven't changed it, right? So that's a red flag there. Anyway, the email goes on. This is someone originally from France, and they're looking to do business in the U.S., and they need somebody that handles $70 million and partner with them, and goes into this story that doesn't really make sense, but whatever the case, you know, at the end, of course, they're like, hey, we got $70 million. Do you want to be part of this? All right. So, again, that's suspicious in itself. Somebody's approaching about $70 million, right? And then in the signature, they leave a WhatsApp phone number. You know, not a official real phone number, just a WhatsApp phone number. All right, which is also a giant red flag too. Because what? They're supposed to be a big holding company, and they can't even leave a real phone number, office number. So red flags all over the place. But then, one of the most strangest things about this example is the email had a passport attached. So supposedly this is of who is writing the email. They include their passport, I guess, because they feel like it adds legitimacy to their email. But really, the whole thing's suspicious, because why would a stranger be sending a passport? By the way, don't go sending your passport to strangers. It's not a normal thing to give copies of your passport to people. That's how your identity gets stolen. So just the fact that this email's sending out with a passport attached to it, the whole thing's bizarre and strange. You know, either the passport's stolen or it was just generated with AI. But at the end of the day, red flags all over the place. It's just an example of one of these shady investment scam emails to watch out for and be suspicious of. Don't fall for it. It's an investment scam example. Again, just because it's an email example, you get the same kind of fake letter, investment letter. Don't trust it either. This next scam we're going to talk about here arrest warrant scams. Again, we have a video about this one too. That's pretty good. We include some clips from local law enforcement and local media clips, warning about this scam. So definitely check out the video for more context about the arrest warrant scams. And of course, make sure you give it a like. But a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. Right, sometimes this is referred to as a jury duty scam, because what they'll do is they'll say, you missed jury duty. You have to pay fines now, otherwise we're going to come and arrest you. And they're very threatening. They want you to be afraid. It's an example of how to use urgency and fear to try and get you to react. We talked about that earlier when we were talking about red flags, right? But these arrest warrant scams can be a scary situation, right? And this is one of those examples where when the scammer calls, the caller ID, it will show the sheriff's name and phone number under caller ID, right? It'll show local law enforcement under caller ID. Even though it's a scammer across the globe, right? They're able to manipulate caller ID. So the victim gets a phone call. The caller ID says it's the local sheriff's department. The caller says it's the local sheriff's department. They're threatening to send deputies there or U.S. Marshals to arrest you right away if you don't pay. It could be a scary situation, right? But it's a scam. It's an arrest warrant scam. These scammers are known to provide fake paperwork too. They'll get you on the phone and they'll offer to text or email fake paperwork that has your info in it, but it's actually, fraudulent paperwork, forged paperwork made to look like it's real. And it's a very common scam, right? So if you get targeted by this type of scam, look, if you think it could be real, which it won't, because if it was, they'd show up and just arrest you. What you do is you say, hey, which organization is this? You confirm who they're claiming to be with, all right? And hang up and call through official channels, right? Go look up the actual phone number of the sheriff's department or who they're impersonating. Call back directly. Make sure you're calling back the real department though. All right, and chances are they're gonna tell you it's a scam. All right, so but the trick about the arrest warrant scams is not to be overtaken by fear and let them trick you, right? And get a reaction from you. You need to pause, hang up, and verify. You always have to verify. And I actually have 2 victim reports about these arrest warrant scams I want to share with you too, actually. Give me 1 sec. I'm just finding 2 reports here. Here we go. So I pulled 2 reports out of many. This one was reported many times over the past year and past couple months. It's a very active scam that's circulating right now, these arrest warrant scams. But 2 reports from January has some interesting details in them that I'm just going to share with you right here. So in the first report, it says, a man reportedly from a sheriff's department in a city I used to live in said that there was a warrant for my arrest. It was due to not reporting for jury duty. Right? So there you go. It was a jury duty scam. And then he says, I was not to discuss this with anyone because children were involved. There's that clever request for secrecy, right? Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense. Like, you failed to show up for jury duty, right? So you don't know anything about it, but they're telling you can't talk about it because children are involved. The whole thing's like Doesn't make any sense, right? But that's an example of arrest warrant scam. And then he was told to go to Walmart and put money on a one account. One account. They would provide me with a barcode when I got there. So these Walmart one accounts, they're just prepaid. They're accounts that are linked to your debit card, to your debit account, from what I understand. Right? And what they do is they trick you into paying with this one account and transferring money through this one account that's linked to your bank account. Which that could be confusing too if you've never used anything like that. Like, I don't use one account. I'm just going by what I hear when it comes to one account. But it should be a red flag though, because scammers are asking for that type of payment now. So anyway, red flags all over this, right? You get a call that claims you missed jury duty, be suspicious, right? And anything official, like, you should be getting notices in the mail. Okay, and then the second report here about arrest warrant scams says, received a phone call saying they were from the county sheriff and that I had 2 charges against me that I had to pay a fee. Was made to stay on the line and was directed to deposit money through a cryptocurrency machine. So, right, he was told to use a Bitcoin ATM. And we talked about that earlier too. And he said, they then tried to accuse me of disconnecting and charge me even more money. The whole time they were threatening to have me arrested if I didn't comply. Right. So, scary situation, right? They try to keep you on the phone while you drive to the Bitcoin ATM and deposit money, or while you drive to Walmart. So watch out for these arrest warrant scams. Even if the caller ID says it's law enforcement, it doesn't mean you can trust it. Even if they offer fake paperwork, it doesn't mean you can trust it. You got to hang up, call the official organization directly. So that's arrest warrant scams. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Bank impersonation scams. Told you this one was coming. By the way, if you're just joining, make sure to hit that like button. Like, subscribe, follow. We're still going to be streaming for probably at least another hour. So still time to invite some more people in here. Get some more friends. Share this video. See if we get some more people here. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm mostly monitoring the comments on YouTube, though. So if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, you have a question or want to share an experience, hop on over to our YouTube channel and comment in there. So, bank impersonation scams. Scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims were then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers, impersonating their bank. The caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer. Right, so that's super important. Remember, keep that in mind. These scammers, they can manipulate the caller ID. In fact, so many victims, you talk to them after the fact, and the reason why they fall for these scams is because they didn't realize you couldn't trust caller ID. The whole reason they trusted it was because they thought, well, caller ID says it's my bank, so it must be my bank. But unfortunately, that's not the truth. So let's take a look here. So in this first example, and by the way, these bank scams were being targeted all directions. Emails impersonating the bank, text messages impersonating the bank, phone calls impersonating the bank. So anything involving the bank, have your guard up. Luckily, it's very easy to confirm anything going on with the bank. And this is how you do it. Call the number on the back of your debit card, on the back of your bank card. Anything going on, any type of notification, any type of fraud alert or email claiming something's going on. Don't click the link. Don't call any phone numbers, right? Don't give any information to the person calling you on the phone, right? Disengage, hang up, and call the number on the back of your bank card, right? That's it. That's what you do with bank scams. Anything involving your bank, hang up and call your bank directly, right? But, so as you can see on this example here, this text message example, this is a scam. Verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt to make a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. This is a scam that's trying to get you to reply. And if you reply, the scammer's going to try to call you and get you on the phone as they impersonate the bank. Okay. Now, what's interesting about this example here, the person who provided it to me, there's actually a little bit of story that goes along with it. Before they received this text, they actually got a phone call. Right? They didn't answer the call, but the call said TD Bank. It had TD Bank's information on caller ID, right? And they didn't answer the call. Right? They ignored it. Then immediately after, they got this text message It says verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction? It goes into the whole thing. All right, but it's a scam. The scammer's trying to get you to reply. All right, so at the very least, they know your number's active and to target you more. But once you reply, they're going to try to get you on the phone and impersonate the bank. They're going to try to get you to withdraw the money. You got to tell you your money's not safe. They're going to try to get you to take as much of your money out, and they're going to tell you to buy gift cards or put it in a Bitcoin ATM. They might even offer to come and pick it up. They'll hire couriers. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic here. Be very suspicious of bank impersonation or any communications claiming to be from your bank. Right, again, being targeted from all directions. Phone calls, text messages, right, emails. In this victim's case, she said, I feel so stupid. This young Connecticut woman had her bank account drained by scammers after answering trusted Wells Fargo number. Right? She said her trouble began when she saw a familiar phone number on her caller ID. She said, I got a call from a Wells Fargo number saying I had fraudulent activity on my account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. They told me to secure my account by sending money that would go back to my account right after. Right? And she fell for it. It was a scam. But she thought she could trust it because her caller ID said Wells Fargo. She didn't realize that scammers can manipulate caller ID. Right? But also, another red flag to point out here that she mentions Zelle. Right? Any mention of Zelle is a red flag. These scammers, they'll tell you someone has access to your Zelle and they need to transfer money to secure it. So any mention of Zelle should be a red flag too. Scammers like to get paid with Zelle. So bank impersonation scams, watch out for them. Emails, text messages, phone calls. Again, the rule is if you're concerned about any of these notifications, call the number on the back of your debit card. It doesn't matter if the caller ID says that that's who's calling, right? You still have to hang up and then call the number on the back of your debit card. Oh, and just one more note. A lot of times they'll say there's suspicious activity on your account or they're investigating fraud. They'll say you must secure your account by transferring money. Other times they'll say they detected illegal activity, right? And they're going to hold you responsible. They try to scare you in that way. They'll say like guns were purchased under your account. So keep that all in mind. And don't be tricked by these bank impersonation scammers. All right, so next scam we're going to talk about here. Actually, I'm going to do it a different way here. So next scam we're going to talk about, bear with me 1 second. It's going to be wrong number scams. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me 1 sec. I got those slides ready. All right, wrong number scams. So these are a serious threat, right? We did a video about wrong number scams, released it about a year ago. It's got over 102,000 views, which is crazy. 102,000 views. That blows my mind, but hey, it went viral and we got 102,000 views, which is really cool. Usually we're lucky to get a couple thousand views on a few of our videos so far, but that got 102,000. So it's a video about wrong number scams. Because it's a threat. It's a big problem. And basically what these scams are is scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies, wrong number, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. Right, so I know that was a lot to take in, but we're going to spend a little time on this here because this is an important one to be aware of. So the thing about these wrong number scams, again, we did a video about this. I urge you to check it out. Is the whole point is the scammer wants you to reply and say, who is this? Or to say, you have a wrong number. It's just another way to trick you into replying. And the reason why this scam is such a threat is it can start with any kind of random text message. It can start with, excuse me, is this Emma? Or it can start with, hey, Anna, I'm Josie, right? Or it could just start with some random message that says, hi, right? So these wrong number scams could just start in any kind of way. And they're intended for you to reply and say, who is this? Or no, you have a wrong number. Right? So here's another example. I'm Margaret. You Lillian? Person replies back, I'm Izzy. I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number when saving it. I hope I didn't disturb you. Person replies back, that's okay. Right, and then goes, thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? Right? They start doing this whole conversation. And that's how a scam works. Like, after it's already established that they got a wrong number, but they're going to try to get information out of you first. They're going to try to get your name. They're going to try to get your age. They're going to try to determine if you're a male or female. Right, here's another one. Have a cup of coffee together sometime. Right, and the person replies back, who is this? All right. Person replies back with their story. I'm trying to reach my friend Laura, yada, yada. Yeah, wrong number, right? But they still reply back. I'm sorry. I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number or area code. I hope I'm not bothering you, right? Victim replies back, nah, you're great. Have a good day, right? But scammer keeps going. Thank you for your kindness. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? Right? They're going to ask where you're from, your age. They're going to try to gather this information about you. Eventually, they're going to ask you to continue talking on WhatsApp. Right, like we talked about that red flag a little earlier. Here's another example. This one just starts with hi. Right, reply back. Hi, who's this? Right, they say, I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. You picked this number for me. Reply back. Hi, sorry, you have the wrong number. Okay, at that point, conversations just stop if this is really the wrong number, right? But it's not. It's a scam, right? So they're going to keep going. Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope it doesn't bother you. Reply back. That's okay. No problem. Right? Again, conversation should end, but they keep going. Thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we can be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? Right? We reply back, Pat. You have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? Right? And they'll just keep going. Right? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to build up trust with you. Right? They're trying to make you think you met a new friend through a random wrong number. Right? And they're trying to build up trust with you. You know, in addition to just getting your phone number so they know they can target you even more. But why is this so dangerous? Because what happens is they're willing to build a trust up for like a week or two. They'll message you every day. You'll think you're talking to someone back and forth. Right, but after a week or two, it turns into a scam. It turns into a romance scam or a pig butchering scam. But before we talk about those, let me show you one more example of these wrong number scams here. Right, in this example, they include a picture. Right? Text message comes in. Hi, Byron. I'm Jane. And there's a picture. Okay. It comes in at 1:58 p.m. Okay. Then no reply. Right. 4 hours later on the dot, 5:58 p.m. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? Right. This is a scam. And the reason why I'm using this example for you is because I want to point out that this is a bot. Right. These scams don't even start out with a real person. They start out with a bot. And the bot's just trained to gather this information from you. It asks these basic questions. Right. The same message gets sent to hundreds of thousands of people. Right? It's a numbers game. It knows that a certain amount of people are going to reply, and the bot's just good. It's trained to say the same thing to each one, ask them what their name is, what their age is, where are they located, right? And then it probably closes off by directing them to WhatsApp, right? And then eventually they can connect to a real scammer, right? And that scammer goes through with the pig butchering or romance scam, right? But hey, some people get this message. It's got the picture attached. They're thinking, hey, it's my lucky day. And now they're replying back, thinking, you know, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. All right. And by the way, I included this example in the video we did on these scams. And tons of people commented saying they got the exact same message, exact same picture. Right. So, is this a real person in the picture? Probably not. Right. The thing with scammers now is before you used to be able to do a reverse image lookup. And what I mean by that is, especially for like romance scams on dating website scams, you used to be able to take the pictures and you could do a reverse picture lookup, reverse image lookup, and it'll tell you if it found those pictures anywhere else. So you could tell if somebody stole pictures if you see other profiles up there with the same picture, right? You can see, okay, this person stole pictures, they're a scammer, it's not really they say they are. But now, because of AI, they can just generate a picture that looks real. So, is this a stolen picture? Is this an AI picture? I don't know, I'm leaning towards AI. But at the end of the day, don't fall for it, right? Scammers using AI to create convincing images like this, videos, voice, right? Used to be able to kind of detect the accent and be like, oh, this is a scammer. Now the recordings and everything, they sound pretty legit and real. So anyway, wrong number scams, don't fall for them. Right? Check out the video. We did it. It's on our YouTube. All right, this next scam we're going to talk about here. This is a newer scam. We only started talking about this a couple weeks ago, but we started seeing it being reported a lot. So I added it to the mix here to get a warning, try and warn people about this one. So a fake promotion scam, the pay with a gift card. So how this is working, right? This is how, I mean, fake promotion scam is kind of a broad explanation, right? But that was the best description I could think of it. So basically, fraudsters impersonate a service provider and offer the victim a discount for paying with a retail gift card. Victims are tricked into purchasing gift cards and sending them to the scammer, right? And how the scam works is you might get a phone call that it impersonates Comcast, and it says that your 50% promotional discount is expiring today, right? So AKA your bill's going to double, right? And it says, call us back at this number, right, to discuss. So the person calls back the number. They think they're calling Comcast, be like, hey, my bill got double, but they're actually calling a scammer. And what the scammer's going to do is the scammer's going to tell them, well, your 50% promotion expires today, so your bill's going to double, but we have another promotion going on currently with Target, right? So if you pay your internet bill in advance with a Target gift card, we'll give you your special price. You just have to go to the Target. You have to go to your local CVS or Walgreens or Target and purchase a Target gift card for $500 or 2 gift cards for $500. You'll pay for a year or half a year service, right? And then call us back with those gift cards, gift card numbers. So the victim thinks, okay, great. All I got to do is pay with a gift card instead of money. They go purchase this gift card, right? They think they're getting an amazing deal where they're saving getting half off on their bill. Right? But what they don't realize, they're giving a scammer the gift cards, right? They're not talking to Comcast. They were tricked into calling a scammer, right? If you get a voicemail that says it's Comcast calling and they call back a number, don't call back the number, right? Go look up what Comcast's number actually is and call back Comcast directly. But I'm going to play you, I know it's a little hard to take in what I just explained all that. So let me play you a recording of a voicemail scam that could kick this off, right? This is what kicks off this fake promotion scam.
Hello, this voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
All right, so don't call them back. It's a scam. All right, so what happens is you see how they're impersonating Comcast there? And by the way, there's plenty of reports of these impersonating other providers too. Right, I think Spectrum was one of the providers. And look, again, when it comes to these scams, they're impersonating one provider, they're impersonating all the others. Right, they're impersonating one internet provider. You know, if they're impersonating Comcast, that means they're impersonating Verizon, they're impersonating Spectrum, they're impersonating everybody else is out there. Right, same thing with the phone companies. If they're impersonating Verizon, they're impersonating T-Mobile, they're impersonating Sprint, they're impersonating them all. Okay, so in this case, they're impersonating Comcast. They're saying your 50% discount expires today. Your bill's going to double unless you call us back at this number. Right, and that's how the scam works. Right, so you get a phone call like this, don't trust it. Right, if you're concerned that it's real, call Comcast back directly. Go look up the official number, call them back directly. Don't call back numbers that are left. You don't know who's leaving these numbers and who they actually call. Okay, and gift cards, red flag, is another clever way that these scammers trick you into purchasing gift cards. Right, they would. I showed you this, the clever secret shopper scam earlier that tricks you into purchasing gift cards, and this fake promotion that tricks you into purchasing gift cards. They have all these clever ways that trick you into purchasing gift cards, right? Don't fall for it. It's a big red flag. All right, so let's talk about a couple more newer scams here. I think they're newer scams to the point where I don't even have any really slides really ready for them here. So we're reviewing all the victim scam reports from January, and we noticed a disturbing trend of reports coming in of scammers impersonating faith-based organization, the leaders of faith-based organizations. Like the leaders of churches, the leaders of synagogues, right? The scammers are impersonating priests. They're impersonating rabbis. They're impersonating pastors, right? And they're targeting members of the church and the synagogue, right? And they're actually impersonating like the specific leaders of those organizations too. They're creating fake email addresses that look like they're from the leaders of those churches and synagogues, right? And I'm going to share some reports that came in for this scam in January. All right, and here's 2 reports here. Contacted by our pastor. He needed help getting some Apple gift cards for cancer patients in the hospital, but was busy with other things. Reported January 12th, 2026. Right, because that's how this scam works. They impersonate the leader of the church and they claim that, they ask for assistance if you could run out and buy some gift cards. And then what they're going to do is they're asking you to send pictures, of course, right? The person impersonates a pastor from our church in South San Francisco, asked to send money for Brazil because he has a personal emergency. January 21st, 2026. So this one impersonated a pastor who claims to be in Brazil and needed help. Someone saying they were my rabbi, asking me to get 5 Target gift cards, $500 each, for sick people. I did not lose money as I realized it and stopped participating. Was there a way I could report them? Right. So that was January 13th, 2026. Right. Scammer impersonating a rabbi tried to scam this person out of $2,500. Right. I received an email that appears to be from my priest. He asked me to buy 10 Amazon gift cards immediately. He needed to send them out. January 30th, 2026. Here's another one. An email seemed to be from the pastor of my church, using a reasonable email address looking like it was from my church. Asked for a favor. Since I'm active in their church, I responded. The next email asked me to purchase gift cards to be given to members in the hospital during visits this week, with the church reimbursing me. The email asked for 4 gift cards at $200 each and to send images of the numbers / activation as soon as I picked them up so they could be given to the folks in the hospital by email instead of waiting to give them the physical cards. Right, it's all a clever way to get them to buy gift cards and send the pictures of the numbers to the scammers. That was January 18th. And then we have here's an example of an email that a victim received. It says, I'm glad you're available. I would like you to run an errand for me if possible. That is why I suggest emailing you. I think you're in the best position to do this for me. I've been working on incentives and I aim to surprise some of our diligent church staff with gift cards this weekend. They're not expecting this, but I'm sure they'll be happy about this act of kindness. Appreciate it, since it's coming from me. This should be confidential between me and you, right? There's the request for confidentiality, right? Between me and you, as it's a surprise. I just need 4 of the Apple gift cards, $500 each, in total of $2,000. You can get some at CVS. You could also get any other denominations like 100, 200, 400 if you don't get the 500. And it goes on to say, note, you don't need to deliver it to the listed staff or bring it to church. I'll sort them out myself over here after you get them. Take it off the pack, scratch gently, take clear and bold pictures of each card and send them to me. I'll forward it to the listed staff myself and let them know how to distribute it among themselves since it's a surprise from me to them. Please do keep the receipts of physical cards with you as a reference. Also, let me know how you want me to reimburse you back. Right, but it's all a scam. They're impersonating the priest or the rabbi, or in this case, the priest, I think, right? They say church. So, if you're a member of a faith-based organization and you have friends who are members of faith-based organizations, friends and family members, warn them, right? Warn them and let them know. Also, shameless self-promotion here. We do group presentations for those types of organizations too. Churches, synagogues. We do them for senior communities, HOAs, right? Community centers. We do group presentations. So If you're interested in one of these group presentations for your group organization, reach out, let us know. I'll give you some more information. You can find information on our website, scamaware101.com, and all our contact information is on there. Next scam we're going to talk about is a newer scam I started seeing. Okay, so this next one we're going to talk about, I don't have any slides for this one, so I'm just going to give you a quick warning about this one so you're aware of it. So the way this one works, points expiring scam, right? What happens is you get a phone call, right? And it impersonates T-Mobile, Verizon, the phone providers, right? And the phone call, what they say is they just say, hey, this is a courtesy call. You have 10,000 points that are expiring that you could use right now to redeem a free iPhone or a free gift, right? You have these points just for being, a T-Mobile subscriber, and we're just letting you know because they expire today. So make sure you use them. And then they give you a link. They say, go to this website and you could use the 10,000 points, right? And they give them a website. Well, it actually takes the victim to a fake website, right? And it gets them to, it has these products listed that they could redeem their 10,000 points for. And when they go to redeem their 10,000 points for their free product, it'll try to charge them for shipping, right? They'll say, that's great, but now you have to just pay for shipping. What's happening is they're actually going to steal the payment details entered, right? They're not really going to try to charge for shipping. What they're doing is they're going to steal your payment information that way. So you're thinking that you're getting some valuable item like an iPhone for free, but you have to pay $5 for shipping. Well, it's all a scam. And you might think it's legit because you think T-Mobile called you, Verizon called you, told you about it. They gave you this website. They didn't. It was a scammer. It was all part of a scam, right? You enter any payment details you enter in a website, they're going to steal. So it basically turns into a fake retail website scam. So watch out for that one. I also had an interesting scam happen today that was reported today to me. Let me see if I have the slide available because it's a new one. But basically, this next scam here is known as an accidental payment scam. And again, this one's new. I don't have a slide for it, so I'm just going to take a quick moment to tell you about it here. Assuming anybody's out there. By the way, if anybody's still out there, give me some reactions. Hit that heart on YouTube. Say hi in the chat. Let me know you're still there. I'm okay with talking to myself. All geniuses do it, but it'll be nice to know somebody's out there listening. But let me warn you about this accidental payment scam here. Again, this one was actually reported to me today. I have a screenshot here. Let me just make sure it doesn't have any personal information on it, which it shouldn't. And basically, what happened is the victim gets a Zelle payment. Yep, this is good on an example. Cool. Yeah, this is good. Okay, cool. So what happens is the victim gets a Zelle payment, right, for $50. And then after they receive the payment, it's from somebody I don't know. Then after they receive the payment, they get a phone call, right? And on my screen, you can see a transcript of the phone call here. And this transcript says, hi, my name's Anthony, and me and my friend were sending money to one of our friend's mom, and we sent you $60 by accident. I'd really appreciate it if you could send it back to the right number. I would be very appreciated. Thank you. Right? So they're making it sound like, oops, I sent $60 to you by mistake. I meant to send it to my mother. Other versions of this say, I had one digit wrong. I meant to send it to a different number, and I hit one digit wrong and sent it to you by accident. Right? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to send them back $60. Okay? But what happens is the $60 that they sent you with Zelle, what's going to happen is in a few days, because in your account is pending, in a few days, it's going to suddenly disappear, right? Because what's happening here is it's a stolen Zelle account, right? They're sending money from a stolen Zelle account, okay? And eventually those funds are going to get reported as stolen, right? And that transfer is going to get reversed by the bank. Or it's going to get, the pending transfer is going to get canceled, right? And then that money is going to be reversed and sent back to the rightful owner. And it's as if nothing ever happened, except if you send $60 to this person, when that transaction gets reversed and disappears from your account, the $60 that you sent is gone. You're not going to get that $60 back. So see how that scam works? So someone says they sent you money by accident in Zelle, and they want you to send it back. Don't trust it. It's a scam. They should have the ability on their end to cancel it. And if they don't, they should, if it was legit, they should reach out to the bank and cancel it. But unfortunately, because of this type of scam, you can't trust it. You know, even if this was a real legit situation, you still can't trust it. You can't send the money back. You can't trust it. You have to have the person go back to their bank and do it, you know. But the best thing you can do is just ignore this. Definitely don't send any money. Ignore it completely. And then in a couple days, you'll see that transaction disappears from the account. Because what's happening right now is this person who has access to the stolen Zelle account, they're sending the same message and the same pending payment. They're sending us to hundreds and thousands. They're sending it to as many people as they can, right? Because to them, they know that a certain amount of people are going to send them the $60 back, right? And eventually, all those little $60 charges that they sent out are going to get reversed or canceled, right? But the people that were tricked into sending $60 to them, they're going to be out of the money. So don't fall for this scam. It's known as an accidental payment scam. I know someone who was targeted with it today and reported it. Don't know if you're watching now, but if you are, shout out to you, and thank you for reporting it and sharing the example. All right. We have some government impersonation scams coming up next. Important to be aware of these, especially now during tax season. We're going to talk about some IRS scams, Social Security scams, Medicare scams. If you're just joining, make sure to give us a like, a follow, subscribe. It really does help. All right, let's talk about some Social Security impersonation scams here. Social Security impersonation. Scammers impersonate Social Security officials and claim there are problems with the victim's number of benefits. They threaten action unless immediate payment or information is provided. Scammers also send fake emails that appear to be from Social Security, but link to dangerous websites. And let me share some examples here for you. So sometimes, some common scammer storylines, they'll say a new statement is available for download. And the examples I'm going to show you right now. Right? Other times they'll say a problem with your account or payment, or they'll say changes or updates to your benefits. They'll target you with emails, text messages, phone calls. Right? So this is another one of those scams. You got to keep your guard up from all directions. And in the example on your screen, you receive an email and impersonates Social Security, and it claims you have a new statement. And it tries to get you to click a link to download it. But that link actually takes you to a fake website and infects you with a virus. So if you look at the email example on a computer, you can see a little bit more details about it. First of all, you see the email address. It isn't from SSA.gov. It's from a email address in Kenya.co.ke. Right? And then the link, even though it says SSA.gov, it doesn't really go there. It goes to a completely different website with random letters and numbers that's going to infect your device. All right, so don't fall for this type of scam. This email is circulating. It was first reported to us back in February 2025. It's still circulating today. All right, so watch out for this scam. Anything claimed to be from Social Security. The next scam we're going to talk about here. Tax and IRS impersonation scams. This one's important to be aware of, especially this time of year. They really do circulate all year round, but even more this time of year. And basically, fraudsters impersonate tax authorities, claiming the victim owes taxes and must pay immediately to avoid penalties or arrest. They often demand payment by untraceable methods. Right, here's 3 examples. Actually, I'm going to do a sec. Could wrap up at 8. Here's 3 examples of some circulating IRS and tax impersonation scams. And again, it's one of those scams, even though I'm just showing you text message examples, stay alert, phone calls, emails, right? But you can see in this first example here, it impersonates the IRS and says, you're eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or mail a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And that's got the link to the fake website. But if you click that link, they'll steal any details you enter. Because notice how it's asking you to confirm your banking details? All right. Then second example here, impersonates New Jersey Department of Taxation. Your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate payment information by September 16th. Funds will be deposited into your bank account or mailed via paper check. And it's got the link to the fake website. It's going to steal your details. There's a third example, Colorado Department of Revenue. Your refund request has been processed and approved. Please provide accurate information by October 22nd. We will deposit the funds into your bank account or mail a paper check. And then it even has some banks listed, ESL Bank, Chase, Finger Lakes, Credit Union. And there's a link to the fake website. All right. You get text messages like these. They're scams. Don't trust them. Don't click the links. These examples were actually provided by those local governments, right, warning us. The one about the IRS was provided by the IRS. They said they wouldn't notify you about an impact payment like that or any kind of deposit like that. It wouldn't. That's not what they do. So text messages like these, they're scams. Don't trust them. Another example I want to share with you here. So another example, even though it's not technically Social Security impersonation, it's a fake headline that tricks you into clicking it, right? And it uses the IRS to trick you. So here's a fake headline. It was right on the homepage of Google. You know, shame on Google for even putting this there. But right on the homepage of Google, there was a link to a fake website. IRS confirms $2,000 direct deposit for January 2026. Check out payment dates, right? But it's a fake article. If you click that link, here's what's going to happen. And again, keep in mind, I didn't search Google for anything. All I did was open up Chrome on my phone, and right on the first page, it tried to get me to click this link, right? I didn't search for anything. It actually fed this fake article and tried to get me to click it. So it's an example about even if it's Google's saying, hey, click this, you can't trust it. But let me show you what happened when I clicked that article. I clicked it, 1 second, boom, fake pop-up, warning me I have a virus. See how quick that was? It didn't even, I clicked it, it brings up the fake article for 1 second. I don't even think there's an article under it. It's just, and it's just there to flash for 1 second, and boom, you're infected with a virus. But this is a scam. It's trying to trick you into downloading a malicious app to your device. All that from just clicking this link. That's all it took. Let's watch that again. I click the link, fake website, boom, fake pop-up, you're infected with virus. And it tries to get you to download the fake app. Now what's funny is I did a quick Google search on this fake virus alert. And it's been around. Let's go find it here. the fake virus alert, I found reports, and this probably isn't even the oldest one. It was one of the first one that I found, but I found reports dating all the way back to 2019 about this same virus alert. So it's been circulating for 6 or 7 years at least, probably long before that. It's successful. People fall for it, right? So don't fall for it if you get that fake pop-up. And again, it used a fake article about the IRS or a deposit to get you to click the link, right? Another scam to watch out for this time of year. So IRS tax forgiveness scams. Bear with 1 sec. Let me get the slides up for that. Gotta make a better slide for this one. Tax forgiveness scams. Fraudsters impersonate accountants offering tax forgiveness services but fail to provide the service. Or they steal your personal details too. They convince you to give them your bank account and all this and that. You need to watch out for this scam, especially this time of year. And I'm going to play you a phone call example that I received and many others received. And that if you get a phone call like this, you should ignore it because it's a scam. Let's take a listen.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick. And I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you.
So that's an example of a tax forgiveness scam, right? And they tried to use there were some red flags there too, right? First of all, they opened up with saying, you owe back taxes. So they're trying to scare you right off the bat. And also, it's a great example of how AI sounds much more realistic now. It actually sounded like a real person was leaving you a message, and I have your file on my desk. But no, that same call is playing for hundreds of thousands of people, whether you owe back taxes or not. They're trying to scare you, and they're calling them back. Right? So look, my advice to you is if you think you're entitled to some kind of tax forgiveness, reach out to an actual accountant. Right? I'm not going to say any names of any accountants, but just reach out to any one of the usual names, and I'm sure they could tell you whether or not you're entitled to some kind of tax forgiveness. But don't trust these random phone calls. And notice I said, it's like, I'm calling from the activation department. What the activation department? Like, it's just a strange phone call in general. So watch out for these tax forgiveness scams. Look, they circulate all year long, but they especially pick up during tax season. So don't fall for them, no matter how legit the phone call may sound. Or even if they're trying to scare you and make you think you owe back taxes. They're just saying that, trying to get you a call back. You might be like, what? You owe back taxes? Let me call them back. No, don't fall for it. All right, the last scam we're going to talk about this evening, then we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to wrap it up by 8 o'clock here. I think the last scam we're going to talk about Medicare scams. So scammers impersonate your health provider or Medicare to steal your private Medicare number and other personal details. The scammers then process fake claims using your identity. Never give your Medicare number to a stranger over the phone, even if they claim to be your doctor. Hang up and call your doctor directly. Right? And this is a very, very common scam that's circulating right now. Right? Sometimes these scammers will start off the phone call by asking you to confirm personal information right away, like your birthday. They'll say they have an important update for you or a important notice for you from your insurance provider or Medicare. And we need to verify who you are by asking your birth date. Don't give them your birth date. It's a scam. Right? Sometimes they impersonate Medicare, they impersonate your insurance providers, they impersonate pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens, they impersonate your doctor's office, your physicians. And look, this is one of those scams where the caller ID, it will show the phone number of all these different organizations that they're impersonating to. Right? Just because the caller ID says that it's your pharmacy or it's your doctor doesn't mean it is. Right? So they start asking personal information, hang up, and then call back directly. Right? Call your doctor directly, call your pharmacy directly. Right? And some common scam narratives that should be setting off alarms in your head. Right? You get a phone call and they say they're offering free medical supplies, or they're providing a new Medicare card, or they need to verify your current information to provide that card, or they have updates to your Medicare benefits to inform you about that you're entitled to, right? Be suspicious, right? Especially when they're asking for your birth date, your Medicare number, the date of the service start. Right? And one last point about this type of scam. The scammers might know things about you already. For example, a lot of times these Medicare scam reports, they say the scammer knew some or all of the victim's social security number, or he knew their doctor's office or their physician or their insurance provider. They knew so much information about the victims already. And unfortunately, that's because there's so many breaches, data breaches, right? And what I mean by that is healthcare providers, insurance providers, scammers and hackers have stolen your medical information, right? There were so many huge data breaches last year of insurance providers. Most of our medical information is safe to say has been stolen, unfortunately. So they know what pharmacies you use. They know what doctors you use. And the problem with that data being stolen is now when they target you with scams, they know what doctor to impersonate. They know what pharmacy to impersonate, right? They know what health insurance company or Medicare to impersonate. All right. They will use the information that they have on you because they stole it. They know your social security number, and they'll try to convince you that they are who they are by saying, look, I know your social security number. Or look, the caller ID says that it's Medicare. And that doesn't mean you could trust it. You still have to hang up and verify through official channels, right? So watch out for these types of scams. Medicare scams, healthcare scams. At first I thought to myself, well, at the end of the day, the insurance company, Medicare, they're the ones that are getting scammed because they're the ones that are paying the bill. But it turns out that they don't pay a bill all the time. A lot of times they'll turn around and the victim ends up getting the bill, because these scammers, they got your information and suddenly they're submitting medical equipment and tests, that you didn't need. The insurance company says, I'm not covering those. And now you're getting stuck with the bill. Meanwhile, the scammers are running off, making money. So don't fall for it. Don't give out your personal information. Don't let them take advantage of you like that. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap up for the evening. We've been streaming since 5:45, so that's 2 hours, 15 minutes. Okay, like I said, I'm going to try to whittle this live stream down to 2 hours a week. We'll see how that goes. But I have so much to cover. But it's good. That means that every week we'll have some new stuff to discuss. We'll discuss some things we didn't cover this week. So anyway, on that note, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who attended the live stream. As always, appreciate you. Saw some new faces today, some old faces. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you didn't yet. We're back every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back next Thursday, same time, same place. And if you haven't joined our mailing list yet, make sure to check out scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. Oh, by the way, I never plug it, but go to courses.scamaware101.com. And we have a $10 course available you can sign up for too. So go check that out if you want. Courses.scamaware101.com. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. YouTube, Blue Sky X, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. If you want to help out, throw us a couple bucks. We always appreciate that too. We got the Super Thanks enabled, Super Chat, Super Thanks enabled over on YouTube. We got the monthly memberships enabled on YouTube. Scamaware101.com/donate. You can donate directly. We appreciate it. And you could also scoop up some merch on our YouTube store. We have our Scamaware 101 coffee mugs, travel mugs, water bottles, stickers, magnets, all useful things you could give for gifts and reminders. Stop falling for scams and help support our mission over here. We appreciate it. And with that, that's all for tonight, folks. Thank you so much. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe. Appreciate you all. Dave, I'm never tired of you sending me music. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I appreciate you. All right, everybody. Bear with me as I get these live streams all closed. Everybody have a great weekend. See you next week. Same time, same place.